God, you've probably flown, what, 20 different types of planes in your entire life?
More.
More.
Yeah.
So as someone who's flown more than 20 different planes.
It's about 70.
70 planes, because you're a test pilot.
Yeah. That's being a test pilot is really, in my 1 year of the test pilot school, I flew 25 airplanes in that 1 year, different types. Everything from a little Schweitzer 233 glider to the B-52.
Whoa.
Flew F-104, which is an old Century Series fighter in 1950s and all.
You've done them all.
I had a lot of experience. Got to fly some helicopters.
Wow, so you're a helicopter guy too.
Even got to fly the Goodyear blimp.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I see it all the time flying around.
Yeah, it was right out of here.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. How deep do they expect your knowledge of the planes you fly as a test pilot, their systems, and how deep does your knowledge have to be?
Well, that depends.
That seemed like a lot to
so
study.
Like I said, it just depends. When I was in Italy, for instance, I went to the Italian test center, Pratica di Mare near Rome, and we met in the morning in this their briefing room and kind of making all these introductions between the U.S. Test pilots at the school and the Italian test pilots over there. And we had one Italian exchange test pilot in my class and an engineer from Italy in my class. And that's why we chose to go there during our field trip during my 1 year at test pilot school. So we're over there, and we're getting the introductions, and I meet this the one pilot said, okay, he's with the Aermacchi 339. He's the Italian demonstration pilot for that airplane, and you're going to go with him. So let's start heading out. And that was it. So we're walking out to first we go, and I have to get the G-suits and the harness and things like that we need. I have my own helmet, and the connections all fit, so that was good. And then we're just walking out to the airplane, and I'm starting asking them, things. What's the rotate speed? What's the G limits on the airplane? And I just hop in the front seat, and he's there and showing me the switches. I love that airplane. It was ergonomically, it was just a beautiful design, beautiful layout, a lot of power on that airplane, even without an afterburner, a lot of power. It's one of my favorite airplanes ever flew.
Wow.
And but that's how it is. We just talk about it walking out to the airplane, and then he's sitting in the back and talking me through how to do things. And when I was also an instructor in the F-4 and the F-16, and when I was at Edwards, I was a test pilot school instructor for a while. And I would do the same thing where people would come over. We'd have foreign test pilots come over, or the Navy guys would come over, and they'd hop in the front seat of the F-16, and I would be in the back seat, and we don't have all the same controls. And what I would do is I would just talk them through where to put their hands and what switches to. So
could you fully control the F-16 from the back seat or no?
There were some things I could not.
Like what?
I'm trying to remember. Most of the things I could. As far as starting the airplane, they had to start it up there.
Got it. But critical things, and to land the plane, you can land the plane.
Yeah. There'd be a landing gear and the flap handles and the throttle and the stick and all that in the back. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, you could do it. You could take control.
Wow. So they were in the front, and you were walking them through the stuff on the F-16.
Yeah. And so the guy with the Aermacchi 339 was doing the same thing, where he'd be in the back and he'd just kind of tell me how to do it, and off we went to go fly. So that's one example. And now the other example, I went and I flew the A-10 and I flew the A-7. And those airplanes, those are both Air Force attack airplanes, jet fighters. And there's no two-seat versions around.
Just one.
Just one, yeah. And so on that one, we have the flight manual. It's called a -1 for each particular airplane, the -1. And so I was given the -1 for the airplane and had to read through the -1, learn how to operate the systems, learn how to do it all, then had to take a test. There's all the immediate action items you have to know how to do in case there's a fire or some hydraulic failure or something where you don't have time to refer to the checklist. You have stuff memorized. And so take the test, and then I could go fly.
Wow. So
that took
opposite ends of the spectrum.
Right. So one of them I could just walk out there with another guy, and he'd help me. But if there's no other guy to walk out with,
that makes sense.
Then you got to know how to do it all yourself. But once again, it was just all up to my own to go get checked out or to learn how to fly the airplane.
So there was no checkout. Oh, there was just the test.
Well, there was academic tests. In both, the A7, when I did take off, there was an instructor flying another airplane next to me.
That's interesting because if there's no two seats, your first time you fly the airplane, you're alone.
Well, you're alone. And the same thing with the A10. That on that one taking off the first time, there's an instructor next to me, and he's next to you, flying by you, but there's nothing he can do to help you out. You're in the airplane by yourself.
You're on your own.
So you better know how to operate the airplane and what to do in an emergency.
Wow.
Yeah.
But then I'm sure at that point, having flown all the planes you've flown, a plane's a plane's a plane's a like the speed change, the speeds are different, but pretty much a plane is a plane is a plane.
There are a lot of differences actually, but
so it's more than that.
Yeah, but still, if you can fly, you can fly.